They say to care for those who once cared for us is one of the highest honors. And you don't need to be a doctor to save a life. Just show up, just listen, and just care. Imagine losing your balance, your voice, and eventually your ability to look into the eyes of people you love. All the while, the world struggles to even pronounce the name of your condition, progressive supranuclear palsy, or PSP, a rare and devastating neurological disease that slowly robs individuals of movement, speech, and independence. Most people have never heard of it until it touches someone they know. And today, we are here to change that. We are here to shine a light on a condition too often kept in the shadows and to give a voice to those who are slowly losing theirs. This is a condition that affects roughly 1 in 100,000 people, a disease that many have never heard of, yet one that profoundly impacts those who live with it and their families. So what is PSP actually? Progressive supranuclear palsy is a rare and complex brain disorder that affects movement, balance, speech, vision, and thinking. The name tells us everything we need to know. Progressive means it worsens over time. Supranuclear refers to the part of the brain above the eye movement control centers. Palsy means weakness or paralysis. It's often mistaken for Parkinson's disease in the early stages, but PSP is its own distinct illness and one that desperately needs greater awareness. So let me share Sarah's stories. At 62, this retired teacher began experiencing unexplained falls in her garden. Her GP initially attributed it to getting older, but when she started having difficulty reading, unable to look down at her book, her family knew something was seriously wrong. After months of tests and misdiagnosis, Sarah was finally diagnosed with PSP. And today, 3 years later, she requires full-time care, but still finds joy in listening to audiobooks and spending time with her grandchildren. Sarah's story illustrates the challenging journey many face with PSP. The symptoms of PSP are varied and often puzzling. The earliest and most common sign is unexplained falls, particularly falling backwards. People also experience stiffness and slowed movements, rather like Parkinson's disease. A hallmark sign is difficulty with eye movements, especially looking up and down. This causes problems with reading, balance, and navigating stairs. As the disease progresses, speech becomes slurred and swallowing becomes difficult, increasing the risk of choking. People may also develop personality changes, become withdrawn, or have trouble with memory and decision making. It's not simply a movement disorder, it affects the whole person. So what are the causes of PSP? The exact cause of PSP remains unknown. What we do know is that it involves the abnormal accumulation of a protein called tau in the brain, the same protein involved in Alzheimer's disease, though in a different pattern. In most cases, there are no known genetic or environmental triggers. PSP is considered a sporadic disease, meaning it usually occurs randomly without a family history. So what are the diagnostic challenges? Diagnosing PSP can be incredibly challenging. There is no single test for it. Doctors rely on a combination of symptoms, brain scans such as MRI, and eye movement tests. Often people are first misdiagnosed with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's before receiving the correct diagnosis of PSP. We must be honest at this point, for there is currently no cure for PSP. That can be difficult to hear. However, whilst we cannot stop the disease yet, we can help manage its symptoms and improve quality of life. Treatments include physiotherapy to help with mobility and balance, speech and language therapy to assist with communication and swallowing, occupational therapy to adapt daily tasks. Medications may help with stiffness or mood swings, though they only offer limited benefit. Support from a multidisciplinary care team is essential to maintaining dignity and quality of life. PSP is a progressive illness. Over time, individuals may become dependent on others for daily care. The average life expectancy after symptoms begin is around 5 to 10 years, though it can vary considerably. People often pass away from complications such as aspiration pneumonia, which occurs when food or drink enters the lungs due to swallowing difficulties. Living with PSP requires tremendous courage for both the person with the condition and their loved ones. It demands compassion, patience, and unwavering support. Carers play a crucial role. Home adaptations, fall prevention measures, and emotional support are key. Advanced care planning can also ensure the person's wishes are respected as the disease progresses. History shows that several well-known individuals have tragically lost their lives to PSP, helping bring attention to this little-known disease. Beloved British actor and comedian Dudley Moore was perhaps the most prominent public figure with PSP, and his diagnosis helped shine a light on the condition. Major League Baseball player Bill Buckner, playwright Richard Nelson, and Academy Award-winning cinematographer Floyd Crosby are among others whose lives were claimed by this progressive illness. Their stories remind us that PSP can affect anyone, and their legacies continue to inspire greater awareness and support. For those wanting to learn more, there are several valuable resources. The documentary, Dudley Moore, After the Laughter, offers a moving portrayal of the actor's final years with PSP. Memoirs like And Walking with Faith by Caroline Birrell share deeply personal caregiving experiences. Organizations like Cure PSP provide extensive educational resources, patient stories, and support networks. We can now see that there is genuine hope on the horizon. Researchers are actively working to better understand PSP, particularly how the tau protein behaves. Clinical trials are underway exploring new therapies that might one day slow or even halt the disease. With greater awareness, funding, and collaboration, we can support this vital research and offer future generations a better chance. So what can you do? This brings me to my call to action. You can make a difference. Spread the word by sharing information about PSP with friends, family, and on social media. Support research by donating to organizations like Cure PSP or the PSP Association. Volunteer your time with local support groups. Advocate for better funding and research into rare diseases. Simply listen to families affected by PSP. Sometimes that's the most powerful support of all. And finally, progressive supranuclear palsy may be rare, but the courage it demands is immense. Behind every diagnosis is a life interrupted, a family forever changed, and a quiet battle fought each day with dignity and strength. By choosing to learn, to listen, and to act, we become part of something greater, something hopeful. So let us not wait until PSP touches our own lives to care, but let us be the voice for those who are losing theirs, the balance for those who are falling, and the strength for those who are fading. Together, through awareness, compassion, and relentless advocacy, we can turn understanding into action, and one day, action into a cure.